What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. In this video, we're going to talk about the Galaxy S22 Ultra and when you potentially will need to upgrade the phone. I'm going to go through a bunch of scenarios, a bunch of different types of folks that use the phone, and when and if you will need to upgrade this phone. As you know, Galaxy S22 Ultra is an absolute spec beast for the most part. Up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, up to 1 terabyte of storage, a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor, a beautiful bright display, a big display at that as well, and just a beautiful phone with great cameras. So it's got like the whole, it's a flagship phone, so it's got the whole package of everything that you might want in a phone. With that said, let's talk about after 1 year of upgrades, will you need to upgrade? I think the people that are gonna upgrade in year one are gonna be obviously the people that always want the next phone, the next S23 Ultra or the 24 Ultra, whatever comes out next. They're always gonna want that one, and they're gonna upgrade regardless if their phone is still amazing and does everything that they need to at the best level or not. And I think that those people are going to ultimately upgrade no matter what. Beyond that, the first year, I think for the most part, I don't think anybody really needs to upgrade. And I say that meaning that I still think this phone is going to game at top performance. I think it's going to move and be fluid at top performance, just running through different apps and running through the phone and just using the phone overall. I think it's still going to feel really, really fast. A year from now, I still think the cameras are going to be really, really nice on here. I don't think the next iteration of this are going to like completely blow the cameras away that you get on the S22 Ultra. I think they'll be better, don't get me wrong, but not so much better that you're going to be like, oh my God, I really need to upgrade. This is such a difference. And then display as well. You know, the display might be a little bit larger on the 23 Ultra. You might get an under display camera, which I believe you will. You might get even a slightly brighter display, even though this is like the brightest display they ever came out with. But ultimately, I think I would say, and I'd guess, for probably more than 95% of the people, you don't need to upgrade. I think it's gonna be absolutely fine a year from now, the S22 Ultra. You'll be completely happy with it and completely satisfied. Now, after 2 years, I think this is where the phone, more so, I would say more so, maybe 50% or more, might need to upgrade. The reasons being the battery's getting a little older. Maybe it's not holding a charge as well as it did. So like your battery life is, you know, making you need to charge the phone a lot quicker than ever before. Maybe 2 years from now, the Galaxy S24 Ultra has, you know, the cameras are, you know what, they're starting to look a little aged a little bit, ever so slightly, or maybe something just isn't as great on the cameras, the 22 Ultra versus the 24 Ultra, and you're a person that takes a ton of photos and you're like, you know what, it's getting time to upgrade. I still think performance is still gonna be fantastic for the most part, but I also think this is gonna be starting to see where display technologies are starting to change as well. I think you're gonna start to see, at least at the onset potentially, 240 hertz on the Samsung side. I know some other phones already have this kind of technology, but I think you're gonna see 240 hertz, and it's gonna start, though, that 120 hertz might feel a little bit slow. You're gonna be like, you know what? Playing with this phone at Best Buy or using this over a couple of days makes my 22 Ultra feel a lot older. I think the speeding of the charging is gonna get faster now. I think they're gonna increase it up to 65 watts or maybe even faster. I think they're gonna increase the charging speed of wireless charging as well. There's gonna be some things in here that are gonna make you start itching a little bit. But ultimately, I think the main cause, the main root of your troubled ills of wanting to upgrade the 22 Ultra within 2 years is gonna be the battery life. I think that's really where you're gonna start to see some of that kind of drop a little bit, especially if you charge your phone and use your phone a lot for the most part on a daily basis. Now, after 3 years, this is probably where I would say maybe 75% or more of the people should upgrade. I think the people that shouldn't are the people that, you know, take the occasional photo, just use it for browsing social media, play light gaming. You could play even medium to heavy gaming on this phone probably still at that point. You're not far away from your phone all the time, or you don't use your phone all that much, so the battery maybe dies kind of quick, but you know, not fast enough so that you're that bothered by it. I think those people will be absolutely completely fine still keeping the phone 3 years from now. But beyond that, I really, really see, you know, a lot of things changing on the phone. Like I said, the 240 hertz refresh rate, if not higher, much faster charging speeds wirelessly and wired. New technologies coming to the phone. Maybe it's completely portless or has some kind of sensor in there that changes things that makes you want it a lot more. The performance is really starting to show now. You're at a 3 years later processor in there from Qualcomm or maybe even Samsung or some other company that they're using that really blows away what you had 3 years ago. The screen maybe is even bigger or just a lot better in terms of quality. There's gonna be things that you're gonna see in by 3 years from now that are really probably gonna make you wanna upgrade, especially when you look back to some of the way Samsung has upgraded their phones over the past maybe 3-4 years. A lot of the technology has stayed the same. You can't imagine it's going to stay that way 7 years from now, because you're thinking back to maybe to the S10 and you're 6 years in the future, 7 years in the future. The 24, 25 Ultra, those should look a lot different than what we've seen on the past, handful of years for the phone. So I think 3 years is a really good time for almost everybody to upgrade. 2 years from, half the people. 1 year, probably nobody. By 4 years, I would say over 90% should be looking to definitely upgrade their phone without a doubt because of everything that's going on. The other thing I wanted to add on to that is, I believe within the next 4 to 5 years, you're gonna see more people switching from these traditional candy bar style phones over to something like a folding phone, because I think that technology and the look of those phones, the folding phones, are gonna mature a lot, get smaller, get cheaper, get a lot better overall. And then to add on to that, when you talk about AR glasses / VR glasses that people will wear as their primary phones, I think that's gonna become more popular as well. And with that, creating more of a reason to actually upgrade from those traditional style phones to these new devices. Hopefully that's like a good little starting point if you're new to the Galaxy side, or even if you're not. If you're just someone that is loving phones and you're kind of like, you know what, I don't know when to upgrade, or I'm a little unsure. Usually after a year, it's not really that time unless you're a person that just wants the latest and greatest. So there you guys go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.